Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Wonder Snatch. I got COVID, so that's why I've been isolating for the past 5 days. A little bit better, but the throat's still a little bit, little bit gone. And I'm growing facial hair. Okay, because I haven't gone to work for like 5 days, I managed to, grow some facial hair. So I guess COVID does make a man out of you. And I'm also wearing my other variants of my merchandise by Lurshki, the same person who did my other shirt. And I'll be selling these at my show, okay? So if you haven't got tickets, there's still some available, okay? Standing room and 2 premium seats at the point of filming. So, donate down below, okay? And today I'm going to do something that I've been a little bit obsessed with the last few weeks, okay? Underpainting, okay? JINKX MONSOON has been underpainting for All Star 7, okay? And she did it on Trixie's channel as well. And this is where you actually put your contour and your highlights and everything below your foundation. I did this for my music video, okay? Which I filmed last year for World AIDS Day. And actually what I found is that in the clubs, it looks so natural, okay? And although it seemed really harsh and everything, in certain dim lights and certain colors, it looks so natural. I'll throw out a few spots here. So today I'm going to try to recreate that and do some underpainting and maybe a part 2 video of how to take it all off, okay? By a dermatologist. Okay. So don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and, subscribe to my channel, all that. And I'll see you in a bit after I get rid of this manliness. Ooh. Alright, so I blocked my brows and shaved off my stubble. Okay, let's get this shirt off. Brand new shirt, let's not get too much makeup on it. And let's get started with this underpainting. Alright, yeah, so my nose is, as usual, super sweaty, so I'm using some antiperspirant to just dab it. I'm just letting it dry a little bit. JINKX MONSOON, my absolute favorite queen of all time. In fact, one of the reasons why I probably started doing drag, because of her cabaret inspirations and everything. She does this thing called underpainting, okay? Underpainting is a technique borrowed from oil painting, okay? From the classics and all that stuff, okay? Because where people underpaint, they used to add the shadows and the highlight right onto the canvas first, okay? So they would put, like charcoal or dark areas and everything, and then paint over that with the colors and everything. And this actually gives it more dimension, okay? And when the light hits it, it actually looks like it's 3D and it looks a bit more real. And of course, theater makeup artists repurpose this for painting the face, okay? So instead of painting everything on straight, like what I usually do, like, you go in the foundation all over and then you add your highlights and everything, where the base is actually the canvas, okay, you erase everything. That's called alo primo. Underpainting actually puts the shadows and everything first, okay? And it's very popular in this technique called chiaroscuro, which is a Italian kind of technique where you actually juxtapose darkness and light and everything to give everything a lot of very mysterious dimension. And this is actually what you see when you look at JINKX on a runway. You don't actually see all the highlights and everything, and she doesn't contour really harsh lines like Trixie Mattel, but the end product actually is actually a lot softer and a lot more feminine, okay, which is what she's going for. Okay, it looks like a lot of steps and a lot of makeup, which it is. JINKX MONSOON herself says that it's almost like putting on a second skin. And she says that it also lasts forever. It lasts like hours and hours and hours. Okay, so we're going to see whether we can recreate that. Okay, I'm going to prime first with some milk. This will help all the makeup stay on my face. Okay, so first we're going to go in with our highlights and our contour, alright? When I underpainted for my music video as well, it really gave some good results. But I don't know, it just seems so easy to just, erase everything and draw everything back on. But let's just give this a go. Okay, I'm going to use my NYX concealer in Fair for my highlights. So highlight where you usually highlight. So that's the middle of the forehead, down the nose. Yeah. Yeah, and you're gonna cut the cheek too. Okay, so this is the usual place that I highlight. Okay, and the whole idea is that when you go over everything at the end with your own normal natural color, all the darks and shadows are actually underneath. So when the light goes through the first layer and reflects off the base layer, you still get these very chiseled shadows and everything in the photos and everything, or when a very bright light hits you. Let the concealer rest a little bit and then go in and blend it out. Okay, and try to keep it where you placed it. Okay, no need to spread it out too much. Okay, and I would use the pointy side of the Beauty Blender. Save the fat side there for the last step. Okay, give yourself that lift. So this is completely opposite to what I normally do, which is just erase my whole face, or alo primo as they call it. Okay, and this is where it's useful to have two sponges, one for lights and one for darks. Okay, so that's the highlights down. Now we go in with the contour. Let's mess about with my Makeup Forever palette again. This time I'm going to use the darkest shade here, which is 353. It's basically paint on my contour. Okay, with the brush you can even like do all the shaping and everything. JINKX Monsoon does this scoop here, which I'll try. Okay, she scoops in this area. Okay, so she's always got this like, it's almost like an impish grin look. Okay, and with a brush, you can literally just blend it up. It's really almost like painting. And her forehead, she does that and that. She doesn't join up the middle there, okay, because I guess it really looks really strange when you're wearing a wig and everything goes right across. So I'm just going to try to do that today also. I'm going to leave a space there. And she, for her jaw, for her chin stretch, the double chin and paints just behind the double chin. Okay, see, nose is breaking up already. And then you can go in with a sponge just to make sure that's all very, very blended. And one thing that she does is she contours her eye socket as well. Okay, so she will add her contour shade right into the shadow of her eye. I'm going pretty much where my regular eye socket is, but you can go higher if you want. Straight bars right down the nose. Okay, when it comes to noses, take your time a little bit. And I will also give the bottom of the nose a little bit of a contour. A good place to do is under the lip as well. Okay, give your lip a bit of a fuller appearance. Okay, so that's the underpainting. You can go back in with your dark sponge and just make sure everything is blended. Okay, so that's the base of, I guess, this underpainting technique. And if you wanted, you could also add your highlights and blush. Okay, so I will add a little bit of blush. Let's go into this blush. This is where liquid blush and all this stuff comes in. We could use these blush colors in this palette here, but I will be using the orange blush by, Mitchell, because I am going for a red-headed look today, a la JINKX Monsoon. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this here. A little bit goes a long way, as they say. Okay, and just blend that in. Since we're going for it, let's just try. I'll use this liquid highlight on the Umo Beauty, this stick of the liquid highlight. I'm just going to pop some liquid highlight there. I might as well just put some there. Okay, and as you can see, my brows aren't even covered properly yet, but we'll fix that. Okay, so next, I'm going to go in with my NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation in Light Porcelain. I'm going to use that flat part of the sponge, okay, and just go all over this, okay. Now, where to start is a good question. I'll start on the perimeters of the face. Okay, so you can see, even though I've covered most of it, you can see that contour peeking through. I guess the trick here is to really blend it very lightly. You just go all over it. Yeah. So now you can see that the contour is still peeking through whatever I've put over. Okay, for brows, I'm gonna continue with the red-headed theme. I'm gonna go with this orange from my You Can Be palette. Well, JINKX Monsoon has really she really does this crazy brow, so I guess I'll try that. All right, I'm just gonna clean these brows up really quickly and I'll be right back. All right. So I've cleaned it up with white. So now I'm going to go ahead and set everything. So JINKX MONSOON, of course, there's this very hilarious clip in Trixie's video where JINKX MONSOON is just powdering herself and her eyes are closed with translucent powder. But I will be highlighting with a bit of white powder first too. My usual white, okay, and my mix of translucents here. Okay, so the white goes under the brow, middle of the forehead here, down the bridge of the nose, this V, and lift, okay? V and lift. So you know how I usually highlight with white creams? This time I didn't. I'm trying to use the concealer, okay? So the same places I put the concealer, okay? And then underneath here to get that contrast with contour later. Am I looking really soft yet? And the rest goes in with the translucent powder. Okay, and this is where the blenderful comes nice and useful. Okay, so all over. Okay, and then with a big fluffy brush, blend everything in. And knock off the excess. And you can see the contour still peeking through. Ignore this kicked up foundation when my nose is sweating. If anyone knows how to fix this, please leave it down in the comments. Alright, and now we can go in with the powders. Okay, so for powders, I'm going to go in with a neutral eye today to continue the theme of that contour that's right there. Okay, going to use this Beaker Browns palette from Yolando. Okay, I'm going to go in first with transition shade. No real names, but that one, okay? Plonk it right there and blend it up. You can see that because the base is already underpainted, that is almost instantaneous. Which is why a lot of people say when you underpaint, you actually use a lot less makeup. And then go in with the deeper shade here to really intensify the crease. And what I'm doing is I'm going right up into the socket and just doing that, okay? And this windshield wiper motions, and this gives you the deepening of the crease there. You can see the shadow there even without the eyeshadow. All right, I'm gonna cut the crease and do some stuff to the eyes, and I'll be right back to do the contour. I finished the eyes and I've colored in the brows there. So now I'm going to add some color back into the face. I'm not going to go in with a very heavy hand like I usually do with my powder contours. I'm going with a light bronzer first, okay? And this is the Juvia's Place Light. Okay, I'm just going to use this softly to just add the color back in my face. Okay, I am a little bit pale from all the powder still. So this gives me that human look, and you can see that, you know, I haven't powdered at all here, but the contour is still there. So I just have to add color a little bit at a time. Stepping up to the medium. You can see the face starting to take shape. And now going back in my Studio Pro, lightly contour that nose. Basically just reinforcing what I put down before. And I'm just putting some contour into that pocket of the cheek there. Scooping it in, like how JINKX MONSOON does. And pop that into the corners of the forehead there to make the forehead a little bit smaller. Okay, so very, very theater, very kabuki. JINKX's face is much rounder than mine, so I guess, you know, she tends to, you know, make it a little bit more natural, but in real life this looks really harsh, but in the camera, with all the lights, I think it looks quite soft. Okay, and you can actually just go back with a little bit of this is like translucent. Cut that. And cut that again. That's pretty much my underpainting technique. I'm just gonna throw on a lip and a final look, and I'll be right back. Alright, and this is the finished look. It's Knitty Knitty Bang Bang on the runway this week, so I'm wearing my knitwear in my milfy outfit. And my favorite red hair. I think like JINKX Monsoon, Victoria Wondersnatch really is a bit of redhead, okay? It really goes well with this gold jewelry and, you know, very warm makeup. And that was my underpainting video. How do you like it? So as you can see, if you look really, really close, it's actually quite harsh. It is perfect for like the stage and everything because, you know, if you look up close, it does look like drag. But if you look really quickly and I just like, you know, look at you, I do look like a natural woman. I think. Alright, so if you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, okay? Ring that bell for post notifications. Okay, my show's coming up, it's in less than a month. So if you want to come and catch me, there's still some standing room left, so click the donation link down in the description. Alright, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, this is my Paris hair. Lucille Ball could never. Upper East Side shopping in Whole Foods and then going to Central Park. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This hair I threw in a suitcase, didn't even resell, popped it back in my head, and it's still amazing. Oh, ooh. Underpainting. Check out my music video if you haven't already. I underpainted there. And also, my recent trip to the Pinky Kiki Ball, okay? Check out Singapore's Vogue scene. Bye.